WWE has a great list of champions right now, but who is up next to take some gold away from those champs? What's going on, guys? It's your buddy, it's your pal, it's Andrew here from What's Good in Wrestling. How are you guys? I'm so glad that you're here watching this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new, like and subscribe if you love wrestling content. We are having so much fun on this channel, and thank you to all the new supporters here. I truly am grateful for you. Let's talk about all the champions in the WWE and who can dethrone them. This is a video that Santi Zapp has made in the past, and I actually made one a month ago, but that's where the video inspiration comes from. He's the GOAT, so let's get into this. Let's talk about the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and that's being held right now by the Unholy Union. Now, look, this one was a little bit tough because, again, I've stressed this, I believe it was in my last video, that WWE needs to continue to show these titles and actually have them defended and have them mean more. And I'm not going to diss any of these women that have held the championships because I know that they can only control what they can in the ring, not the writing, not anything like that. I just want them featured more. I think that there's a good chance that Sonya Deville, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler will have their hands all over these tag team championships, and maybe it's all three of them that grabs the gold. But for now, I'm saying Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler will be the ones to win these tag titles. I think that if we're talking about momentum and wrestlers that I think could make these titles a little bit more relevant, I'm going with them. It looks like this trio is going to be causing some damage going forward, so why not go with them? Next, let's go over to the men's side of Tag Team Championship Gold, and that is the WWE Tag Team Champions, currently held by DIY. Now, look, we all know that the tag division is hot and cold, and I just mentioned it with the women. I think that we need a little bit more spice to these titles as well. I love DIY, don't get me wrong. I've actually met Gargano in person, really nice guy. But I'm going to choose Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga to hold on to these championships. I think that they are the next people to win. This new version of the Bloodline is going to need a little bit more gold. They're going to need a little bit more of a push, especially with Roman coming back. I know that you don't necessarily need gold in the picture, but to make them even stronger, to make this a little bit more believable, putting the straps on them eventually would be cool, and maybe it doesn't happen right away, but I think it makes a lot of sense. I think DIY eventually breaks up with Ciampa going against Gargano again, probably a heel turn. Imagine if Gargano was the one that turned heel. I'm sure it won't happen that way, but I could see DIY breaking up in the future, and I know they do this with a lot of teams, but there's so much built in. Ciampa always betrays Gargano. It'll happen again, and I think that somehow the new version of the Bloodline will be all over this. Might as well move on to the WWE World Tag Team Champions, and those titles are currently held by JD McDonough and Finn Balor. I like these guys. I think that they're fantastic. I love the Judgment Day. They've been doing a fantastic job. I know that they're probably going to start to crumble soon. I don't necessarily think it'll be JD McDonough and Finn Balor being the ones to break up. I'm sure it's going to have to do with something with Damien Priest and, of course, Rhea Ripley coming back. There's all these storylines going on, which is good. Keep these factions busy. Keep them in a bunch of different storylines. But I'm just going to say the New Day. I know that there's been hints of Xavier Woods potentially turning on Kofi, and they've been doing these weird storylines with, what is it, the Final Testament. They keep changing up these groups and throwing members of, Karrion Kross in there. I really need to make a video on Karrion Kross because I do like him to a degree, but it hasn't worked. But that's besides the point. I'm just going to say the New Day because I honestly don't know who's going to take these titles. It could be, Miz and Truth again, which it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. I think there's going to be some sort of breakup there eventually. But I'm going to say the New Day. Let's just say that they don't actually break up. They stay together and they win those titles. Makes a lot of sense. The New Day just finds himself back in the tag team title picture all the time. Might as well throw them in there. Real quick, I don't want to ignore the WWE Speed Champion right now. At the time I'm recording this, it's Andrade, who currently is not doing a lot with that title. Again, WWE doesn't do a ton with these 24/7 hardcore speed. They don't do anything with these titles. I know it's like a Twitter exclusive, but why not at least show it on TV from time to time and maybe give it some packages to show, hey, like, let's promote this. It's not being done the way that I would personally like to see it being done. But again, Nonetheless, I'm just going to choose Dragon Lee. Let's just put the belt on him. Let him go on a run. Let's see if we can make something out of it. Have him defend it in TNA. That'd be really cool. Have him defend it against a guy from TNA on Twitter. Have it stream from the TNA Twitter account. Let's do something fun. I'm just going to say Dragon Lee. The United States Championship, currently held by the Maverick Logan Paul, isn't being defended. And when Logan won the title, he made it sound like he was going to be appearing on WWE more often. And that really hasn't happened. Now, SummerSlam is hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, and that is where Logan is from. And all signs are pointing to LA Knight, versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship. And look, it's probably time for LA Knight to win this championship. LA Knight's been hot. He's been doing really well. The whole company seems to be backing him. The crowd backs him. It makes a ton of sense to finally give this guy that solo championship that he hasn't won. He hasn't been able to cross over that line of, okay, now I'm in the record books as a champion. LA Knight needs that title to elevate to the next level. Let's have LA Knight defending that on every PLE. That will make him more believable as a champion, because not every champion in the WWE even defends every pay-per-view. Even Cody Rhodes didn't defend at Money in the Bank. So let's see it. I did like the fact that Logan was promoting the United States Championship on all these different shows and bringing it everywhere, but there hasn't been much since. So let's see a change. LA Knight, is winning the U.S. title. The Intercontinental Championship is currently being held by Sami Zayn, and I think all signs are pointing to Braun Breaker, and that might be a choice that people are like, oh, whatever, it's clear as day. Of course, it's Braun Breaker, but that's exciting to me. And I believe in my previous video, I had said that I believe Braun will be going after the United States title. I could be wrong. I didn't even watch that video again after I posted it, to be completely honest with you guys. It's been over a month, okay? I make a lot of content. But I think Braun needs the championship because they can't keep having him lose, and I don't want to see him lose. I want this guy to continue to be a dominant force and win these matches. Build him up as a star. Sami Zayn is more than likely eventually going to get back into that Bloodline storyline. He could bring that IC championship with him into that storyline, maybe lose to a Jacob Fatu, maybe lose to a Solo Sikoa eventually, but I think Braun's probably taking that title before he gets involved there, so I'm choosing Braun Breaker. The women's champion Bayley will be defending against Nia Jax, and I do believe Nia Jax will win the championship. I think since Nia Jax has come back into the WWE after Triple H rehired her, she's been doing great. I don't think anybody will deny that. She's been one of the highlights of the women's division. She's had some decent promo work. Her in-ring work is getting a little bit better. She's a little bit more safe than she previously was. I know she's probably worked with people outside of the ring, outside of television, I should say. She's probably worked on that. I'm wondering if it's somebody like Natalya, because, she's a safe worker. People always go to her. WWE always sends people to the dungeon to work with TJ and Natty. So I'm wondering if that's somewhere where she worked on her craft a little bit, but I think it would be really cool to see her win that championship. Nothing against Bayley. I just think that eventually Bayley is going to drop that title, and it's probably going to be to Nia Jax. Here's a bit of a swerve, and I think people might disagree with me when I'm talking about the Women's World Champion. And I know currently that's being held by Liv Morgan, and everybody's pointing to Rhea Ripley. Here's my swerve. Here's what I think could potentially happen. I'm wondering if Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio steal a win from Rhea Ripley, and then maybe on the next episode of Raw, or maybe it's on SmackDown. Hell, you could have it in the NXT parking lot. I don't care where they talk. But have Rhea be so pissed off about being screwed over that she literally dismantles Dom and Liv, has her beat in the ring, just absolutely destroyed. She's walking up the ramp and it's Tiffy time. Toodles to your championship, Liv Morgan. And Tiffany Stratton becomes the new champ. She beats Liv Morgan. Could you imagine? Let's move over to the World Heavyweight Championship, and it's being defended at the time I'm recording this by Damien Priest against Gunther at SummerSlam. And barring any interference, which again is possible, WWE always has somebody lurking, somebody trying to steal a win, I think Gunther's going to be the champ. They have to eventually give this guy a world title. It's just, this is where I start to be like, okay, so now Gunther's winning this championship. That's going to take a lot of people out of potential championship wins because Gunther's likely going to go on a pretty lengthy run as champion. And how much can you protect other people around that championship if he's going to beat them 2-3 times in a row? Now, I know that's just the name of the game, but Gunther is more than likely going to have a significant title reign, much like his IC championship run. It probably would have made more sense for there to have been a cash-in after Gunther and Damien Priest if there was some sort of interference. I don't know. Again, I don't mind what they did with the briefcase, but Gunther's going to go on a serious run. I'm happy for him. I love him. The Ring General, he's amazing. But I'm curious to see how it's going to work when he's champ. How many people are going to lose to that guy and how many times? We'll see. Last but not least, it's the WWE Champion, and that is Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, the master of the what? Yeah, I'm probably never doing that again. But my choice is Randy Orton. Now, again, people are going to disagree with that one. I think there's going to be a lot of people happy. I might get a 50-50 split here in the like or dislike or in the comments, which, again, guys, comment all your lists down below of who you guys think will be the next set of champions. I loved you guys doing that in the last time we talked about this, but Randy has been staring at that championship, right? And if maybe we potentially get a heel Orton versus Cena one more time for Cena to break the record, then maybe Orton wins it back from him before he retires. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. There's so much that could happen, but it's more and more increasingly likely that Randy versus Cody is the story. And man, Randy Orton might finish his story and win that 16 titles. I don't know, man. I would love to see Randy Orton as champ again, but I'm really curious to see how WWE will handle a Cody Rhodes loss and how he gets back into that main event picture, because it looks like WWE really wants Cody to be that next version of a John Cena or that Randy Orton status of a babyface in their prime. And I know Orton was a heel at one point, but everybody loves Randy Orton. We'll see if they can even turn him heel and it'll work. Against Cody, it might just work, and he might have to take that title away from the American Nightmare. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. These videos are usually pretty long, but hopefully you guys had fun listening to me talk about the next set of champions. Make sure to comment down below your choices. And again, if you love wrestling, it's your buddy, it's your pal, it's Andrew from What's Good in Wrestling, and that is What's Good in Wrestling. I'll see you in the next video.